Sugar, according to the integrative functional doctors that I read and check on the internet, agree that sugar is the main culprit in most feared diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. Sugar cravings are hard to get rid of, but I know of two ways. One is by a way that I just read from Dr. Pescatore from his Divine Healing, a comprehensive guide to nature's greatest healing miracles by Dr. Fred Pescatore. He has had people with severe sugar cravings be able to quit sugar in 3 days, 72 hours, he says. And he does it in stages, or asks them to do it in stages, not to try to do everything at once. So the first stage is just to stop the things that you know have sugar in them: cake, cookies, candy, ice cream. Okay, that's the first day. And then the second day, you stop those things that have refined carbohydrates that you have in your diet. That'd be your white bread, white rice, even potatoes. Don't you love potatoes? Did we forget sugar itself? It's white and refined. Corn syrup is another one, and especially the high fructose corn syrup, the soda that you drink. But things that are okay are your whole grains, quinoa, brown rice, millet, for example, are A-OK according to Dr. Pescatore. Okay, that's the second day. Now, on the third day, you're looking for those more hidden kinds of sugar and getting rid of them. So that would be honey, concentrated fruit juice, barley malt, maple syrup, rice syrup, cane sugar, fructose, and anything that ends in OSE or OL, like mannitol. Look on the packaging, you'll find lots of OSEs that are hidden sugars. And then on that third day, he also asks you to give up fruit. Not fruit forever, but fruit on the third day, because it is so full of sugar. And especially things like orange juice has a lot of sugar in it. You'd be much better when you get back to fruit to have the whole orange, including the white stuff around the rind. If you've made it through the first 3 days, he says you've made it through the hard part. He says you may not feel great yet, but just stick with it and you will, because this is the way you readjust your metabolism so that you don't have sugar cravings. So things that you can eat, things with omega-3s like salmon, tuna, mackerel, monounsaturated fatty acids like estate bottled olive oil, macadamia nut oil. I think coconut oil belongs in here too. Almonds, walnuts, avocado, and non-starchy vegetables, which would be spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, string beans, bell peppers, kale, collard greens, and whole grains, again like quinoa, millet, spelt, teff. There's some of those that I haven't heard of. What about lentils? They're a good source of protein, but I think maybe they have too much carbohydrate when you're trying to get off of sugar. And then he says, last of all, and not least, is to get moving. Exercise helps you get rid of the sugar cravings. And then he gives something I had never heard of. If you have cravings and you just think you just have to have that diet drink or that, yes, diet drinks increase your cravings for sugar, um, or that candy bar or that cookie. Instead of doing that, he said, take something called glutamine, 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 up to 3 times a day, 500 milligrams at a time. And he said that will cure your sugar cravings. Now, I didn't use this approach myself, but several years ago when I couldn't even recognize myself in a picture because I had gained so much weight and I was wearing a blouse with crosswise stripes, of all things, for someone who's overweight. I didn't recognize myself. And that clued me that I really needed to do something. And I happened to find in one of the stores as I was passing by, my eyes fell on a book by Dr. Atkins. And he had a 2-week program, which is what I use to get off of the sugar cravings and the carbohydrate cravings. Dr. Atkins' program was to have protein at every meal, no carbohydrates, like no bread, no rice, no potatoes, but to have protein 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a large salad with your dinner. And you could have like olive oil and vinegar for your dressing on the salad, because a lot of dressings have sugar in them. And some even have high fructose corn syrup in them, which is one of the worst things for driving your blood sugar up and making your heart have disease. It increases your risk of diabetes, and even they call all some forms of Alzheimer's as the diabetes 3, type 3 diabetes is what they're beginning to call some types of Alzheimer's disease. So these are 3 ways to help reduce your cravings. Now, do you want to get rid of the pain in your knees? You lose some weight on this when you reduce your cravings for sugar. Um, and what else? Well, you have less risk of losing your memory, less risk of having to give yourself shots of insulin for diabetes. Oh my goodness, there's just so many things that improve in your life when you're able to get over your sugar and carbohydrate cravings. So this is Evelyn Maxwell with Holistic Health Education, wishing you the best of everything. God bless you.